Hey guys, MrStardustRicon here, and what is up? Welcome back to a segment on this channel that I have abandoned for a pretty long time, over a year and a half at this point. I'm pretty sure it's probably been even longer. Welcome back to Weeb Weekends, the section on this channel where I go ahead and take a little bit of time to settle down and not focus on gameplay or anything action oriented. Instead, focus on reading out a visual novel, because visual novels are really a big medium that I love and appreciate, and I always wish that more attention was brought to them. And there's kind of like a double-edged sword with doing let's reads of visual novels, but I feel like the risk is there. The good sides of the risk outweigh the bad most of the times. So, with that said, with our first one bringing back this segment, we're looking at Love at First Sight. It is a visual novel about falling in love at first sight with a cyclops girl. At least that's what I can get. That's what I gathered from, just the very, very little that I've seen of it from the Steam page and different things like that. This is something that I've been meaning to get to for a while, but I've always had a little bit of anxiety because in the past, the games that I have looked at for Weeb Weekends have been primarily action-oriented or something along the lines of that, where we had Danganronpa series that we have looked at all three games. I haven't uploaded V3 yet, but I do intend to be doing that soon. We have looked at V3, and besides the Danganronpa series, we looked at Fate/stay night. And those all had a lot of different action elements and different things to keep conversation set pieces going and, not be either a slice of life or a romance. And honestly, those are what I get into a lot of the times. I really, really do adore slice of life and romance aspects for visual novels, and those do take up a large percent of visual novels. We did have various romance aspects in Fate/stay night, but outside of maybe Heaven's Feel, that isn't what's the big major focus. Romance is something that takes a little bit of a backseat in that, and Danganronpa, there's, the different side events and the character events and different things like that, but not anything to focus on, whereas this is very much, the romance is going to be the main aspect that we're looking at. It's going to be the main thing we're interacting with, and it's going to be something to be excited about for me. So I hope you join me on this rather short journey. From what I know, this is a rather short visual novel, going anywhere from an hour and a half to 2 hours. We'll see, because, I'm pretty sure this is more of a low-budget one, so I don't know if there is actually going to be voice acting or not. If there isn't, then we get to hear my beautiful voice the entire time. Don't plan on doing anything major for fucking character voices. Don't want to make anybody cringe too bad with doing a high-pitched voice for girls. I mean, I might do a more gentle voice, but, if you're familiar with my Fake Grand Order streams, then that's about what you can expect here too. But we also are going to be introducing a brand new thing for the Weeb Weekend segments of this channel, where this is all going to be just a recorded let's read rather than a stream. Because, that's another thing to do with visual novels, is a lot of them do have adult elements, and honestly, that is going to give me a heart attack on stream if I end up accidentally, hey, here's an H scene that I didn't know about, or something like that. And that kind of can be circumvented by playing games through Steam, but hey, not all the games that I want to play are played through Steam, so there's always that too. So I'd rather just have the peace of mind in recording this and uploading it to the channel directly rather than streaming it. And plus, it gives the channel some more varied content rather than just the streams, which I also appreciate. So now that we've gotten all that out of the way and we have properly fucking wasted like a good 5 minutes or more of time, let's go ahead and properly jump in. This is all just me stalling to get rid of my anxiety on how I'm going to go about this, but I love at first sight. Act 1, catch my eyes. I almost said catch this. It's early in the morning. This is the path I always take to get to school. I normally have to hurry, but today I'm taking it easy. I had a little extra time to get out of the house, which is kind of unusual. I'm feeling good under the warm morning sunshine and cool morning breeze as I head to school. Yeah, it's more of a fall than anything else. So we're probably, if this is Japan, then we're in the middle of the year then, of the school year. So that places us there. Also, I really dig the art style of this game. It's a very scratchy, it's very non-traditional of what you would expect out of a VN, where usually there are a lot more softer, more cliche anime art styles. So I dig when you either have a different art style or, you know, you're not so much the regular what you would expect. Almost painting-esque. Oh, okay. I'm not in a hurry, but it still doesn't take long to get to school. My house is right next to the school, but it isn't that far away. Or my house isn't right next to the school, but it isn't that far away either. Even if I don't leave as early as I did today, I never have to run to get to school on time or anything. That's what I'm thinking as I change into my school slippers. I absent-mindedly climb the stairs and head to my classroom on the second floor, class 2-2. Put my hand on the door to open it, and then... Oh, Maku, good morning! You're here earlier than usual. How unlike you. Ah, this must be our Genki character, our excited... Hey, I'm gonna scream and do all that different stuff. I love these characters. Her loud, ear-splitting voice shakes me out of my morning daze. Morning, Akemi. I see you're getting a head start on being loud and obnoxious today. I see our main character is getting a head start on being rude today. Hey. There's nothing wrong with being energetic. This overly spirited person is Tsunemi Akemi. She's always like this, the kind of person who always is going full throttle from the moment she wakes up until the morning she falls asleep. You're not energetic, you're out of control. But I guess that's what I should be expecting by now. Morning, Tomo. You know her better than I do, right? Does she have a volume knob? Morning. I've known Akemi for a long time, and I can say for sure that no, she doesn't. This is Ochiai? Yeah, Ochiai Tomoyori. He's a zombie in contrast to Akemi's liveliness. But like Akemi, his energy level is constant. It's lifeless all day, every day. Yeah, I've only known her for a little while, but I'm starting to realize that. You'll get used to it. So we've got like the three various things of like one extreme, the other extreme, and like the solid middle ground, which is our main character in terms of overall personality. I guess we've got the I'm just gonna be here and be monotone and be not very excited, and we have our super excited, gonna yell at you as soon as you enter the classroom, right? Because I'm so excited to see my friend, and we've got the normal one. If a little if a little, I guess we haven't seen that much, so it's not nice to say that he isn't that he's rude or something like that. Lately, you've started treating me as bad as Tomo. Okay, apparently not. Apparently, this is just the regular dynamic. Is this really how you should be treating someone you've only known for 2 months? Considering how annoying you are, do you really expect me to treat you any differently? Yeah, I've only known these two for about 2 months, though I've gotten pretty close to them at that time. I'm Fukunaga Mamoru. 2 months ago, I had to switch high schools because of my parents' work. Fall's almost over. I transferred in the middle of the season, and because of that, I was a bit of an oddity among the other students. I was really nervous at first, but luckily these two came along and we became friends. That's mean! Tomo-kun, say something! Well, it seems like you two are getting close. Yeah, I guess it says something that we can actually be rude to each other. Be a little bit of a bully to the friends. Don't ignore me! I can say for sure, I'm a bit of a bully to my friends too, so I understand. I can say for sure that Tomo is the real reason I'm comfortable here now. He doesn't take care of his appearance, and he's not the warmest person you'll ever meet, but he's pretty smart and, ultimately, a good guy. I learned how dependable he is pretty quickly. Okay. Ignoring me is forbidden. You hear me? We might be ignoring her, but I guess I owe Akemi as well. The fact that she's so annoyingly loud is her only real flaw. I don't know anyone more inspiring than her. Lately, Akemi's been trying to get me to hang out with her and Tomo all the time. The two seem to balance each other out, though it's not perfectly balanced by any means. From what I hear, they've basically been friends since they were kids. But Tomo once told me she's basically just been following me around this entire time. You need I guess, her excitedness is nice because, okay, hey, if she wasn't pushing herself onto you and trying to make an effort to be your friend and everything, hey, put it up alone. Bell rings. It's already time for homeroom. What's first period today? Math. Our homework is due today. You did do it, right? Yeah, yesterday. I finished with time to spare for a change. I was actually able to go to bed early because of that. I said ignoring me was forbidden! Hey! It's weird, like, it makes the text box disappear whenever there's a transition and you have to click forward anyway. The morning lessons end and lunchtime begins. Lunchtime! Time to eat! We move from our classroom to one farther down the hall. We're the only ones in here, and Akemi's thundering voice echoes in the empty classroom. 3 of us have been coming to this empty classroom for lunch since I transferred to this school. On the menu today is Salisbury steak. Awesome! What are you, a kid? Come on, can you at least lower the volume during lunch? Come on, help me out here. After a moment, Tomo replies, "What do you want me to do?" Sighs. Snatches Akemi's chopsticks from her. That's just gonna make her louder, dude. She's gonna start complaining and trying to get them back. Hey! Then as Akemi opens her mouth to protest, Tomo stuffs a piece of Salisbury steak into her mouth. He seems to have forgotten anything she wanted to say when the food entered her mouth and quietly chews it. Her mood improves a moment later, and expression dissolves into bliss as she chews. Really is an airhead. I'm not her keeper, you know. Could have fooled me. Who else could have held back that freight train of a girl? You think I can hold back a freight train? Okay, maybe not. Exactly. Akemi cries, spewing food everywhere, then realizing what she did, as she hastily closes her mouth and swallows. Don't talk while you eat. And the #1 most cheerful girl in town, Tsunemi Akemi-chan. And with that, she goes back to eating her lunch. I guess she can't stay quiet for too long no matter what she's doing. Most cheerful girl in town? Do you have any competition for that title? No kidding. You're one of our school's celebrities. Yeah! Keep your enthusiasm up, be cheerful, say hi to everyone. Soon you'll be, at least a little bit popular. You'll be known around school, and everybody will be... You know how nice it is to have someone be like, hey, good morning to you? It's always a good thing. It's a good feeling. It makes you feel acknowledged. Seriously? One of? And there's more? Yeah, our school has a lot of unusual students. There's a lot of rumors floating around about concerning our school, it seems. Wow, what other kind of celebrities are there? You don't know about any of them? Well, first, there's... Tomo takes a quick glance at Akemi, but she seems lost in her own food-induced paradise. She's not even listening to us anymore. Well, there's a lot of them. If you really want to know, I'll tell you later. It isn't... I guess it's a touchy subject, but I'll make it a point to ask about it later. Okay, well... I wonder why there would be sore feelings there more than anything else, but, maybe we'll get the answer to that later. All done! You eat way too fast. Crap, barely touched any of my own food while we were chatting. Should have started on my lunch while she had her mouth closed. I get another chance now. I mean, you can eat while she talks. It's not anything like that. It's not like you have to sit there and listen to her while just your food gets even more cold. I have a very bad habit of also not eating while talking during, eating. Or lunch or dinner or whatever. That happens a lot of the times where me and a few friends will be sitting down at a restaurant or something like that, and we'll get into a conversation and they'll be ready to leave and be all done with their meal, and I'll look down and I took maybe 3 bites of my burger. I was recounting the epic saga how you won your fame. He seemed to be really interested in it, so I want him to hear it from the source. Yeah, I gotta find out what one of the celebrities are like. If you want to find out about how all the different popular kids, or popular in quotes, are, you should probably hear about why they're popular too. So, Kemi, why are you popular? Sure thing, Makun. You want to hear about when I saved the town for the first time with my fantastic powers? I haven't met Tomo-kun yet, and... No, I really don't want to hear about that. Come on, Tomo! A minute ago, you told me to take care of her, and now I'm telling you to do it. I haven't even touched my food yet, so you be her friend for a bit. Why is this hot potato with past the friend? Without a second glance, he starts eating his lunch in silence. Makun, are you listening? So anyway, my mom had gone out on a shopping, and... No, you're the one who needs to listen. How did I get roped into this? And so for the rest of lunchtime, I got stuck listening to her story while I finished my lunch and gave her an occasional nod. School ends. Huh? Makun? Where's Tomo-kun? Kemi calls out to me as I'm packing up my stuff. She rushed out of the classroom right when the class ended. It seems she came back just as quickly. He said he had some things to take care of back at his place and left a little early. What's up? Oh, really? Well, can you take this to the third-year classrooms for me? I promised to return this before the end of the day, but I've got a club meeting I gotta go to, so... He hands me a small paper bag. It feels like it's got a book or something. I sigh. Fine, I'll do it. Thanks a bunch. Give it to the student in 3-2 named Yai Katashi. I'm counting on you. No sooner does she say that than she disappears once again. Just can't sit still, can she? Suppose I'd better get going too. No telling how long this CI person is going to be there for. I finish packing up and head to the classroom on the 3rd floor. Oh, right. I gotta remind myself every time. It's like an active, like, because usually in most VNs there would be an active, like, transition there. I wonder if that was a setting. I remember seeing a thing for transitions. Transitions, all, none. Okay. It's already set on all, so maybe it's like, I don't know. Maybe if you didn't have that set, then it would, like, just automatically teleport you to the next thing without even seeing the transitions, but usually like, the transitions are an automatic effect, so I'm surprised that they're a manual thing here. Oh well, I'll get used to it. I arrive at the 3rd-year students' classrooms with Akemi's package and look for the person I'm supposed to deliver it to. Some of the other students tell me she stepped out for a bit. They say she'll be back soon and that I can just wait here for her, but 10 minutes pass and she's still nowhere to be found. Maybe I should have one of the other people here give it to her and just go home. School's over and most of the students have been at their club activities for a while now. While I'm waiting in the 3rd-year classroom, the other students file out and the school grounds slowly become devoid of life. The noise of daytime activity has all but disappeared. I feel like I'm in detention. I want to go home already. Dude, have you been bailed? The person that we're delivering the package to is just bailed. Like, I'm out. Don't want to deal with this. No, thank you. Giving up, I leave the classroom and turn towards the stairwell. My classroom is on the 2nd floor, so I usually don't spend any time up here. The layouts of the floors are pretty much identical, but somehow I feel like this is an alternate dimension. And just as I'm about to descend the stairs, I start to hear what I think are sobs coming from me. What's that? Also, yeah, no, on the whole other dimension thing, that's pretty understandable if you've got, like, an area that it's like, if you have, like, mass-produced homes or something like that, and, like, the homes are pretty much identical, but you step into, like, you live in one of them, and you go into your neighbor's house or something like that, and, like, it's the same layout, but, you know, it's very different because of the air and everything like that. You've got different decorations, you've got different presence that is there rather than the one that you're used to. It's just like just enough, if even without like the furniture change and everything like that, it's just enough of like I'm in a different area, but it's the same to give you that uncanny feeling. Figured I was alone and had relaxed because of that, but the sudden sobbing catches me off guard and I freeze. I hold my breath and strain my ears. It's not just my imagination. Someone nearby is crying softly. Hearing someone crying in an empty school building sounds like the beginning of a horror story. am I saying? This isn't a horror story. School might be over, but the sun hasn't even gone down yet. Finding some else. I'm guessing that's a misspell or typo. Someone else in the building isn't that strange. Well, I say that, but this situation isn't exactly normal either. Sobbing continues. It sounds like it's coming from the next floor up. Quiet, but it reverberates off the narrow stairwell's walls. It's definitely coming from the floor above me, though I didn't realize it until now. This building only has 3 floors. The only thing above me is the roof, right? School is over. The door to the roof should be locked by now, but I can still hear the crying. There's no way it could be coming from there. But if the door is locked, that means the way up ahead is just a dead end. I can't just walk up there and check and claim I happen to walk by. But before I can think it through, my curiosity has me turning around and heading back up the stairs. Climb up the stairs step by step, as quietly as I can, though I can't help but make a little bit of noise. As I get closer to the source of the sobbing, I begin to hear it more clearly. There's just one voice, and judging by the sound of it, it's a girl's. Feels like I'm climbing up 10 stories, but it only takes a few seconds, and suddenly, I'm almost on the landing. I take one last step and turn around to find the source of the crying. In front of me is a girl wearing our school's uniform. She's lying against the door to the roof, sobbing. The girl hears me walking towards the stairs and starts to shiver as she turns her head towards me. Nothing up to this point has been too out of the ordinary, at least until I saw her face. Ah. There we go. There's our title girl. Girl on the Steam page at the very least. I'm guessing our main girl for this story. The girl stares at me with her single eye and her face sopping wet from crying. I don't mean that she was missing an eye. She literally had one giant eye from the middle of her face. I don't know if that's the artistic thing, because it's been a minute since we saw the other characters that had portraits, but she also doesn't have a nose, but I don't know if that's the art style or the fact that she just doesn't have a nose, but I'm guessing, you know, the eye is the very big elephant in the room rather than a nose. A bit of light reflects off the unwiped tear near her wide open eye. I can tell by the way she's looking at me that she's terrified. She's not the only one though. Without really understanding what I'm looking at, I stare at her, unmoving, and she does the same. She's wearing her school uniform, but is she really a student here? Any of you two want to break the silence? Break the ice? Hey, how's it going? Who are you? No name, something? Doing okay? Got rips everywhere, you got bandages everywhere. No matter how many times I blink, a second eye doesn't suddenly grow on her face, and I finally realize that what I'm seeing is reality. Faced with this girl who looks like she belongs in a fairy tale, I begin to panic. Strangely though, I'm able to keep my fright from showing. This situation is so unreal, it's my brain just refuses to fully acknowledge it. I heard crying and came to see what's going on. Are you alright? The longer the silence drags on, the harder it becomes to break it. I try to come up with something, anything to say to force myself out of this stupor, but my mind is completely blank. At this point, anything is better than silence. Yeah, no, staring at her and her staring at you, especially given the circumstances, both, you know, what led you here and the elephant in the room is gonna do more damage than good. Better to at least, you know, try and act sympathetic. It seems her mind is just as blank as mine. I work my mouth soundlessly a few times before finally chewing out or spewing out the first thing that comes to mind. Do you need something to wipe your face? Her uniform is black, so I can't tell if it's wet from her crying into it, or I can't tell if it's wet from her crying into it. She doesn't have a handkerchief or anything, though. I produce my own handkerchief from the pocket and move over to offer it to her. I can talk. I approach the girl sitting at the top of the stairs and to give it to her. And once again, she starts shivering in fear. She's looking at me like I'm some kind of monster. Am I really that scary? Isn't she the monster here? Dude, I don't know. You're gonna... Like, someone that's genuinely distressed, looking awfully hurt in tattered rags of clothes, and was crying, like, you're gonna be like, "Oh, you're a monster." I feel like that's not the great thing to do here. At least he doesn't say it, out loud, and it's just internal dialogue. Thank you. I hold the handkerchief out stiffly for a few seconds, then cautiously, oh so cautiously, takes the handkerchief and wipes her face. Those are the first words she's spoken so far, but her trembling voice is so quiet that I almost don't hear her. I only transferred to this school about 2 months ago. I don't think I've seen you around. This is definitely the first time we've met, of course. I'm sure that if I had seen her before, her face would have been burned in my mind. There's no way I could forget what I'm seeing now. I asked her to give me my handkerchief back. It's obvious from the way she's looking at me that she's still confused and afraid. We're not gonna get anywhere at this rate. We must be in different classes since I haven't seen you around before. And what grade and what class are you in? I'm from class 2-2. Class 1-2. She actually gave me a proper response this time. She really is a student here. I guess not a monster or something. Suddenly, it hits me that I've been sharing the same school, and hell, the same world with this person all this time. Oh, 1 year lower then. Yeah. The conversation grinds to a halt again. I can't think of anything else to say, actually. That's not really true. I have a mountain of things I want to ask her. All that has to do with her appearance. I'm hesitant to bring that up. That's probably for the best, okay? Who knows why she's crying, but, suddenly being, "Oh God, what the fuck's wrong with you?" probably wouldn't do wonders for her self-esteem. And, given the fact that she's already crying, we're actually handling this very tactfully, given the fact that we were just insulting a girl like moments ago. Time passes as I hurriedly try to think of something to say to fill the silence. What can I say? My mind's totally blank. Every heartbeat seems louder than the last, and the panic I thought I had subsided wells up inside my mind again. I don't think I can keep this up. Right, I have to get going. The girl looks like she wants to say more, but without another word, I turn and flee down the stairs. Hopefully you don't fucking run, dude, because running seems like the bad thing to do. But, hopefully you just gently walked away, don't make her feel bad about herself, and, that's also going to give her an excuse to talk to us again because she still has her handkerchief. So if she's, if we're going by anime rules, then she's going to go ahead and be obligated to come and meet us to give us her handkerchief back. So we have another meeting lined up in the future. I walk on for a few seconds after clearing the campus gates. Then I pause for a moment and take a deep breath. Jeez. It seems that girl didn't follow or even call after me. She's probably still sitting at the top of the steps in that desolate stairway. Cool wind is blowing as I walk home, and I gradually regain my composure. My heart's still racing, though. I think I'm going to feel uneasy about what just happened for a long time. I was really surprised. Maybe I still don't fully understand what I saw. I'll have to think about it some more. Was it fear? Was I afraid of her? No. There's nothing scary about some girl, even if she is. Honestly, I can't shake the thought that she might have been some kind of monster. But she must be a human high school girl, right? I was definitely scared out of my wits at first, but I think if she wanted to hurt me, she would have done it. In fact, she's beyond harmless. She's as timid as a mouse. I mean, realistically. I'm not talking about, like, fantasy rules, because usually when we got cyclopses, we got, like, big hulking monsters. But if we just, like, the very, very simple, like, mono-eyed creature of just, they're a human, but they have one eye instead of two, there's nothing really, like, inherently scary or worrisome about that. Like, there was a series called Demi-Humans and different things like that. Or, Monster Musume deals with some things like, it's not like they've got physical abilities that are outside the realm of humans or anything like that. In fact, they're just honestly nerfed humans, considering they don't have depth perception. They might have a superior sight, maybe, through being able to, I don't know, one big eye. Is bigger better in that case? I don't know how much a giant eye would impact you over having two eyes and having proper depth perception, but, you know, there's nothing really outside of, like, the uncanny valley of seeing something that seems wrong in a human. There doesn't seem to be anything really scary about that, or like worrisome, like, oh, she's gonna hurt me type of thing. But if that's the case, why do I still feel uneasy? Because you're seeing something that's not normal and your mind is screaming, no, that's wrong. Is my mind just unable to accept the fact that she only has one eye? No, that's not it. It's not like I was avoiding staring at her or anything. Actually, I don't think I could have looked away even if I had wanted to. Whatever. It's not worth dwelling on. The fact that I'm not disgusted by her after all this means that it was just pure surprise, right? Yeah, I think that's a reasonable conclusion. At any rate, I think it's safe to say that anyone who saw her face wouldn't forget it anytime soon. As I'm thinking this over, I finally arrive at a familiar entryway to my house. I was so absorbed in my thoughts, I guess I was just on autopilot all the way home. I'm home. Oh, welcome home. You're a little late, aren't you? What are you doing? We don't even have a mom portrait? That's unfortunate. I guess we've only got the 4. We got, no, I guess we only have the 3. We've only got the friends, and we've got our main girl. And that's it. And we still don't have a name to attach, but, you know, don't really do anything about that for now. Kemi roped me into being her errand boy. She wanted me to deliver something for her. Wouldn't we have called home? Like, hey, I'm gonna be home a little bit late. I've got some things to take care of at school. Later that night, I let out a deep sigh as I'm lying in my futon, unable to sleep. For some reason, I couldn't tell my mom about the one-eyed girl. It wasn't like it was traumatic or anything, but I almost feel guilty. At any rate, I can't stop thinking about her face. I know that if I don't fall asleep soon, I'm going to have to rush to school tomorrow. Try to forget about everything that happened today, but I just can't keep my eyes closed. It looked like she wanted to say something back there, but I panicked and ran away. I kind of regret not staying now. Roll over in my futon several times, but eventually, I come to a decision. I'm gonna try and find that girl again. I feel like I should try to at least learn her name. Hey, we go from the one being taken care of and the one, like, you know... Yeah, okay, that's what I thought. Huh? Okay, opening cinematic? Maybe? Or is this like, this is probably the chapter thing. Yeah. Act 2, have an eye for. Ah, you get it? Like, have an eye. Okay. Got an eye for that girl or something like that. Come on. Got eye puns galore. Get it? Love at first sight. I forget what chapter 1 was named. Is that a little insensitive? I don't know. Probably. It probably definitely is. The next day, I try to clear my head as I'm walking to school, but I can't stop thinking about that girl. Should I leave class during the break to go look for her? It'd be difficult to leave without a good excuse, though. Maybe when school's over, I'll go to where I met her yesterday and say I just happened by. There's no guarantee she's going to be be in the same place today, though. Besides, I didn't exactly handle that situation gracefully, leaving her like I was trying to run away. Definitely not the best first impression to make. I'll have to think of some excuse for going. I didn't even go to investigate her crying in the first place. Not even sure I know myself. Ah, because you decided to be a decent human being and check out someone in need. Follow your conscience, man. Be a good person. Try and check up on the people who are in pain. Say hi to your friends. That girl, I don't even know her name. What should I call her? Wait, I'm getting ahead of myself. Before I even think of what to call her, I have to actually find her first. I'll ask her name, introduce myself, and that'll probably be good enough. She'll probably think I'm some kind of freak, but I guess that's fine. Maybe if I just talk to her, it'll lighten some of the tension between us. I look up to find I've arrived at school. Looks like I was on autopilot again. I get inside, change my shoes, and head up to the second floor where my classroom is. As I walk up the stairs, I see something strange moving out of the corner of my eye. Ah, she's there! You know, we did tell her our class. You did get told her class. I personally forget what it is, but, you know, if we take a look at maybe... Oh, that's not how the log works. Okay, we don't have a log to look at. Cool, good to know. This is a little weird to get used to. But okay, I don't want to scroll all the way back then. Nah, I'm good. So if we did look at the log, we would be able to check, and you know, we could have always went to her class. We could probably figure it out that way. But hey, she took the initiative and came to see us instead. Peeking around the corner of the connecting hallway is a head of brown hair. The girl I've been seeing in my mind all morning. I seem to be the only one who noticed her head popping around the corner. Must think that pose will keep her totally hidden, as if she's in a manga or something, but she really stands out. Me at least. She's moving her eye around frantically. Sure enough, she picks me out from within the sparse crowd. I'm so surprised to see her, all I can think of is, why is a first-year student on the second-year floor before she hurries up to me? Here. She hands me a familiar handkerchief. Hey, see? The laws of the land dictated that we would have another meeting again. She had to initiate because the handkerchief was ours. These are the rules of rom-com. Romance in general, I guess. That's right. I'd totally forgotten that I had lent it to her yesterday. Take the handkerchief, which she folded neatly into a perfect square. I think she even washed it. But yesterday, I mean, thank you. As soon as she says that in her tiny voice, she runs down the stairs and vanishes around the corner. Hold on, wait! And there goes our... like, actual encounter meeting. Good job. We wasted it all. We wasted the opportunity. Fuck! Now we've got to actually find her. Great. Oh well. I head to my classroom. The lunch bell rings. I stash my books in my desk and bolt out of the classroom. I didn't even get to thank that girl for washing my handkerchief. I go to look around for her and say what I wanted to say earlier. I have a good excuse to talk to her now. You had a better excuse earlier, but, you know, you could go, I guess taking the initiative to say, hey, thanks for taking care of my handkerchief and not just stealing it is a decent conversation starter, maybe? I don't know. I arrive at the end of the hallway, but instead of going down to the first year classrooms, I head upstairs. I don't know for sure, but I think there's a good chance she's going to be up where I met her yesterday. Well, even if she's not, and I can just look elsewhere. I get to the third floor and keep going up, all the way up to the stairs that led to the roof. Hey. Ah, she is here. This is where she's built her nest, I guess. Just like yesterday, she's sitting on the same step on top of the roof, at the top of the stairs. I see her shoulders jolt when she hears my voice, and she looks up at me. Her mouth is opening and closing rapidly. She clearly wants to say something, but can't find the words. She's in the same position I was yesterday, it seems. But now we've got the confidence in order to say something. We have got 2 lines of saying, hey, thank you for washing my handkerchief, and my name is X. I don't know where we're going to take the conversation after that, but it's a nice opener, at the very least. Thanks for washing my handkerchief. I didn't get the chance to say it earlier. Yeah. There's a lot of confusion in her soft voice. The fact that she's looking everywhere but at my face tells me she's not sure what to do. I'm obviously making her uncomfortable, but I'm not going to run away like I did yesterday. So, this is where you eat your lunch, huh? You mind if I join you? I say this as gently as possible, as I notice the lunchbox she's got perched on her knees. It's a good place to put it, I guess. Yeah, if you're going to put it somewhere during lunchtime, if you're going somewhere during lunchtime, you're probably bringing your lunch as well. While we're talking, I take out my own lunch. Now that I think about it, I don't know if she has any other friends to eat lunch with. Huh? Oh, no. The answer comes quickly, and I wonder if she really means it. Her eye starts to dart around wildly around the corner in an effort to avoid making eye contact, and she begins to look even more nervous. Thanks. I'll just sit down on these steps. She She didn't tell me to go away, at least. Take a seat next to her and unpack my lunch. It seems to startle her, but she leans away from me, as if she's trying to escape. I sat next to her, but it's not like I'm that close to her. I'm a little offended. While I'm unpacking my lunch, I look her over as casually as I can manage. Up until now, I was fixated on her eye, but the rest of her appearance is pretty striking as well. Her head is covered in bandages, her hair is messy and unkempt. The uniform looks like it's been ripped apart and only partially stitched back together. It looks far from normal. And hey, now that we can see a little bit more, she's got some like cuts on her shoulder. I noticed that she has bruises or maybe birthmarks? I'm not sure which. All over her legs. And we can see her legs? That's more surprising than anything. Can we get rid of that? No, we can't. All over her legs and neck. Yeah, we can't see her neck either. And anywhere else I can see. The skin on her dainty limb looks as white as a ghost's. She doesn't look healthy by any standard. Is that... Suddenly our eyes meet. I guess I was staring too, obviously. You know, I would think the skirt would be a bit too long to be able to see her leg. That's it. We quickly break eye contact, but she keeps shooting me sidelong glances, like she's worried that I'll attack her or something. I'm clutching my chopsticks, but my lunch remains untouched. The long silence is getting uncomfortable. I try to strike up some conversation. Come to think of it, I haven't introduced myself. I'm Fukunaga Mamoru. What's your name? It's Usui Sachi. Sachi, huh? Nice to finally meet you. Nice to meet you too. And there goes our conversation. We ran right into the brick wall, ladies and gentlemen. We are doing fantastic. It looks like she's not too talkative, though. I guess I shouldn't be surprised. I have to keep the conversation going somehow. Do you always eat lunch up here? Does anyone else ever come up with you or anything? Yeah, I always eat up here. No one else comes with me. Maybe that was too forward, but the fact that no one else comes up with her isn't too surprising. She's probably always alone. She shifts her attention to me, watching me cautiously. Is she that afraid of me touching her? I see. So, what do you do during lunch break then? Read, finish homework, a few other things. I guess, you know, optimal timing. Got some free time, might as well do the shit that you need to do. And, you know, that's fine. Oh, really? What kind of book are you reading? I haven't really read any novels lately. Ah, there we go. We found a pathway. That's good. We can talk about books. That's all well and good. Sorry. Sachi cries out abruptly, her voice rising like she's about to lose her mind. My lunch. I mean, I'm done, so, excuse me. No sooner does she say this than she scoops up her almost untouched lunchbox and runs down the stairs. I can't really chase after her with my lunchbox sitting open on my legs, so she leaves me behind. I've just been run out on. Silence. You know, you did the same to her yesterday, so eye for an eye, I guess. Haha. Oh, fuck. That wasn't even intentional. I've been run out on, and silence falls over the stairwell. I guess trying to force conversation like that backfired. Or you just need to keep on picking away, melting the ice slowly, because she's very obviously guarded for, you know, probably a few obvious reasons. She doesn't seem like she does too well with person-to-person contact, and whether that's abusive reasons or, you know, on the lines of everyone bullying her. Probably isn't used to someone trying to work their way, or to try and actually talk to her and make friends with her. So, you know, it might be a bit invasive, but I don't see anything too wrong with doing that aspect. Regardless of if she might be a little bit intimidated, but at the end of the day, having a friend is going to be better than not having one. Sachi only ever replied to my questions with a few words at a time, but she kept looking over at me with her worried eye. Did I really make her that uneasy? Or, you know, she's very uncomfortable with us. That's also it. In which case, we continuing to pursue that might lead to some uncomfortable things, and we might just be bothering her. I think it's the former, but it could always be the latter. Is it that hard for her to open up to me? This girl seems to lead a very troubled life. I might not be able to ever get close to her. No, just because I had one unsuccessful experiment doesn't mean I should give up. Before I thought I'd be satisfied if I just spoke to her once, but now I have an overwhelming desire to get to know her. I have to become friends with her now, no matter what. Can't give up, I have to keep trying. Yeah, well, being enthusiastic about it is one thing, but there's nothing I could do right now. Might as well eat my food. We could keep on we could go back to the classroom and go talk to our other friends about her. We could, hey, do you know this one-eyed girl from, the first years? Might be some sort of thing. Or we could talk to Tomo. Tomo did say, everything about the school's weird students or wonder students or something like that. So, hey, maybe he knows something. You never know. Well, while I think of a way to meet her again, I finish what's left in my lunch. It's so quiet here. I thought that no matter where in the school you were during lunchtime, you would be able to hear students' lively voices, but you barely reach this lonely place. I come in another world. Voices of the students talking down below are so quiet that the sound of the chopsticks clicking around my lunchbox is like a hammer on stone. Even the sound of my shirt rustling as I move is like the howling of the wind in comparison. Being able to fully take in the silence rather than bustling loudness of everybody else fun with their friends, or just ambient noises really won't come through on this avenue, and that's probably precisely why she chose it, to get away from everything else. For what reason, we still need to figure that out, but it's something to take in mind. And there's also like the very harrowing realization of, oh god, oh fuck, she eats like this every day, this poor girl. As I close my empty lunchbox, I make up my mind. I absolutely have to become friends with her. Good for you. See, even the black screens you have to click forward on, that's weird. Returning to my classroom, I catch Tomo and Akemi just as they're finishing their lunches. Hey, where'd you go? The two of us ate our lunches together all alone. Come to think of it, I never said anything to them as I left. No, my bad. I just finished lunch too. Where'd you run off to? Hey, have you guys seen a first girl with a really unusual appearance? What do you mean by that? A first year girl with the one with the ocular issue? Yeah, that sounds like her. Huh? What are you talking about? Something I don't know about? No, this probably isn't something you'd want to hear. Not really a happy story. Wow, rude! You shouldn't keep things from your friends. That's not what I meant, but... Anyway, why do you want to know about her? No reason, I just heard about her and got curious is all. You know her? Personally? No. I've seen her around, but I've never talked to her. As for what I've heard about her, I'm not sure if it's true or not. It might all be baseless rumors. That's fine, just tell me what you know. Yeah, we need some information. We need... taking this like an attack. We need to attack her to become friends or something like that. It's something stupid sounding. We gotta do it so we can try and move forward with it. That sounds better. Having some idea of like, hey, he has traumatic experiences with this will help us know to avoid that and stuff like that. If it's anything. It could all just be baseless rumors that, paint her in a bad image, but we could get some good information. Or it could be like, oh my god, she's a freak and everybody hates her, and that's not the type of thing we want. That's fine, just tell me what you know. Are you sure you really want to know? Tomo looks side to side like he wants to make sure that no one else is listening, even though the three of us are alone in here. Yeah? Why are you so like, not anxious, why are you so apprehensive about giving the information on this? It's just like, not wanting to talk about it? If we ignore the problem, it isn't there type of mentality? That's awful. Promptly turns away from me and, he promptly turns away from me and stares at the floor. He looks as though he's staring into another dimension. Fine. Well, take what I'm about to say with a grain of salt. A first-year student in class 2, female, name Usui, something. I only remember her family name, but she only has one eye. Wait, one eye? You mean she lost one in an accident? She didn't lose one, she only ever had one. Right in the center of her face. One big eye. What? You mean she was born that way? I don't know the details, but it seems she was. I've only ever seen her from afar, but I really don't think that's an injury. Yeah, no, that's a birth thing. That's not a, or you know, I guess weird. Could you even do like plastic surgery to do that? That seems way too, I don't know. That doesn't seem like it's possible. But you know, born that way. That's what we're going with. There's really a person like that in one of our first year classes? I've never seen her or even heard about her. Not once. Well, we are in a different year from her. But regardless, I'd guess she's trying hard to stay hidden. Both from other students and from herself. I don't know. I feel like if you had a cyclops in your school, everyone would know. Like, oh, hey, yeah, you new to school? Well, just to let you know, we do have Sachi. Don't freak out. She only has one giant eye. I feel like that's an initiation thing, not something. I feel like that's something the school should directly be like, hey, don't fucking bully this kid about this, or we're gonna fucking. Or maybe they just don't care. You know what? That's a few different issues there. What do you mean she's trying to stay hidden from herself? I told you it wasn't a happy story. Tomo takes a quick glance at Kemi. He seems worried to have said so much about Sachi around her. It's not like I forced him to tell me. Yesterday he avoided the subject of the school's celebrities. Was that because he didn't want to talk about Sachi? That's all I've heard, but she does have a startling appearance. She's definitely not normal. Maybe she's creepy, maybe not. You have to admit that at the very least, she's unusual. She's fascinating to some and scary to others. I'm sure there are plenty more who find her disturbing. From what I hear, she's always covered in wounds. Hard to believe they're all accidental, considering how many she has. So in that case, they'd be from someone beating her up? If someone at home is hurting her, I couldn't tell you. There is a real possibility that she's being bullied at school. There is a very high chance of that. You are different, therefore you shall be fucking ruthlessly bullied. Could that be it? Before I wasn't sure what caused her all her injuries, but thinking back, what Tomo was saying makes sense. Doesn't anyone try to protect her? I told you, all I know are rumors, not details, but there's another student who's also a little famous, and I think she's the one responsible for bullying that girl. It's not Rui-chan, is it? This caught me off guard. Akemi, normally so loud, speaks in a hushed tone. Now that I think about it, she's been abnormally quiet the whole time. The whole time Tomo's been telling us about Sachi. I always figured Akemi would be the first to denounce bullying whenever she sees it, but do you know her? I wouldn't say we know her per se. We just ran into her several times during middle school. Doesn't that mean they know her? Akemi seems to be staring into space now, thinking. Anyway, whether or not we know her doesn't really matter, but yes, the alleged assailant is this girl, Sadokawa Rui. I've heard that she's from a well-off household and was pampered growing up as a result. As a result, she's very self-centered. That's the impression I got when I first met her, but there's probably more to it than that. She's really popular among other students as well. That also contributes to her behavior, or at least I think so. So she's from a well-off household, gets kind of uppity, is the center of attention, and when someone else is different or gathers any sort of other attention maybe, then she's like, no, that can't happen. You are now in the fucking shit list, and gets ruthlessly bullied as a result. Sounds like a Mean Girls kind of thing. Oh well. I see. Thanks for telling me. I can find out the truth of this on my own later, but I think I'm starting to understand more of the situation now. So, what do you think of this one-eyed girl? As Tomo said, the fact that Sachi is very unusual, and I'm curious to know what he thinks about her. Depending on his response, I may have to change my plans. I just told you what I think, so tell me. What were you doing during lunch? Why are you so concerned about this? I didn't plan on hiding it, but I guess I couldn't have anyway. Tomo seems to understand what I'm getting at. I can't fool you. You made it too obvious. As I said before, I only have trivial information. You shouldn't judge a book by her cover, so to speak. I mean, we haven't really judged... What is there to judge about her? Like, just like, oh my god. I guess the initial, you know, sort of reaction that we had yesterday of, oh my god, it's a monster type thing. I haven't concerned myself with her up until now because I didn't have any reason to. And that said, if you want to help her out, you've got my support. I see. Well, thanks. At least we have our friends backing us. I assume Akemi is also there to be like, hey, don't worry, you have my support too. I didn't think there'd be any problem, but still, I'm glad Togo's so eager to help. I keep my face expressionless, but I breathe an internal sigh of relief. Wait. You actually meet this girl, Maka? Akemi quickly returns to her previous loud demeanor. Yeah, I did. No fair! I want to make friends with this girl too! Ma-kun introduced me! Oh, that seems like a potentially horrendous meeting. You have got the brightest light in the sun, that is Akemi, and you've got Sachi, which is the dimmest moon available. You've got one light and you've got one dark. You've got one extreme extrovert and you've got one extreme introvert. She is going to try and drag her into everything, and that is good and bad. Because God, that will produce one shell-shocked girl. But you know, it could be good for her. It could be good for her. But it's probably going to be better to ease her into it than, you know, completely just into the oven. Go, go, go. You're being tossed into the boiling pot of water that is socializing. Yep, Kemi's back to her old self. The way she was acting before was so unlike her. I was even worried when Sadokawa and her bullying came up. Now it's like she wasn't even there, aware or even here for that part of the conversation. At least, I mean, so she probably got bullied as well. Whether that was because she was taking part of the, or she was taking some of the attention away from her, and because of her extreme extroverted personality, or something else. Whether she was bullied in the past because of some other reason. He definitely doesn't too well with this Sadokawa girl. At least I don't have to worry about Kemi being nice to Sachi if they ever did meet. She's so damn... I'm not sure how I would do that. I mean, I'm not even really friends with her. Come on, what are you trying to say? I mean, it's just... She's not used to talking with people, and I think talking to someone like you would really be overwhelming for her. What's that supposed to mean? You don't want me to meet her, huh? That's definitely not fair. It's because your voice is capable of leveling buildings. Hey, come on. It's not like I'm going to give a speech to a huge audience. It's not so exaggerant. It's no exaggeration to say I'm a professional at having a relaxed conversation with guys, girls, kids, and even dogs and cats and lizards. It's definitely an exaggeration. You are intimidating with that loud voice of yours, and meeting it is going to end up with that girl running away in tears. You know, that's very, very rude, but not untrue. Potentially. Like I said, you're taking way too big of an opposite extreme of social ability, and that can turn good, but it also can turn horrendous in a blink of an eye. Oh, god damn it. I keep making eye puns without meaning to. That's right. I know these two are good people, and as much as I want to introduce them with Sachi, I don't think suddenly coming by with 2 more people is a good idea when she barely even knows me. Boo! What about Tomo then? I don't think that would work either. Don't you think she'd be just as a little scared of you 2 guys? If 2 guys she didn't know walked up to her and started talking with her? She pouts at Tomo. He's right. Or, no, sorry. He's right. I don't exactly have the friendliest face. Safest if you just meet with her on your own for a little while. Yep. We can slowly try and melt this huge glacier of a girl, and when we finally get to the core of it and start trying to actually make friends with her rather than just passing by associates, then we can actually start introducing her to other people and give her some sort of kindness. It's true, he's really tall and he always has some kind of strange look in his eyes. I'd probably scare her enough all on my own, but if I brought Tomo along, she'd probably scream and run away. Sorry, you two. Fine, I get it. I'll give you a little while. But someday, you have to introduce me. Sure, I promise. Good luck. If you need help, just ask us. Thanks. If it comes to that, I'll gladly take your offer. All right. Act 3, have an eye for. Okay. I think with the end of that popping up, I think this is as good a time as any to call this a session. Or not a session, but call this an episode for the day. We will be back tomorrow, probably, or we'll be back tomorrow to do more of this, if not finish it up. I don't know how short this is after all, so I'm going completely blind. Hell, we could have fucking 10 minutes left in the VN, and I'm going to feel guilty as hell. But you know what? That'll do it for this episode of Love at First Sight. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I hope to see you guys in the next episode, where we try and melt the ice around this girl's heart and become her friend. Take care, guys.